Welcome everybody, it is Unstoppable Stiletsy with yet another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition cast of games. So today we're going to be doing yet another 2 versus 2 deathmatch. We've already done one of those today, we're going to be doing another one now. And like the last one, I'm going to be using my new little mouse here, so notice that my scrolling might look a little bit differently than usual, but everything else will be good. This time, though, it looks like it's going to be all Dutch, an entire Dutch mirror. Both teams are just using Dutch, lots of banks, Wall Street, a lot of money flowing around in all places. Before we get started, though, let's look at the map real quick. Since this is a deathmatch, I would say probably the biggest thing you're going to really care about here are these this trade route. It goes through the center of the map, and the trading posts are located on these little sort of like plateau things here. It makes it both hard to siege the trading posts unless you're using mortars. Oh wait a minute too, you also have to be aware that walling is technically a little bit easier since you can connect it from one of these cliff sides here to the other one, so you do save a bit on wood there. Let's see how this goes though. Before we even get started, we can already see one of the Dutch going for the Comanche native site here, which is kind of funny. Enough of that, let's begin. Alright, so what can I say about Dutch? Banks, banks, and more banks. Lots of money. Total capitalism with the Dutch, They love their banks so much. They love money so much that their villagers literally cost money. They don't even cost food, they cost money. 100 coin. So this should be pretty interesting, We're going to be seeing pretty much all the same units pretty much from all 4 players, it looks like. They're all starting out with the church. Church gives you mercantilism. Mercantilism gives you 5 shipments at the start because, as you know, at the beginning of the game, shipping costs are really low. So therefore, a big tech like that's going to give you about 5 shipments to get going with. Right? This Dutch in particular is going for the Royal Decree, both fencing and riding school to get quick training units, cavalry combat, so that can make a pretty big difference in area of fighting. They're also going to be adding in the Comanche elite horse archers as well. An additional light cavalry beyond the riders we see coming out. But we see here the Red Dutch starting to wall up this side. Like I said before, these cliffs provide a really nice advantage of setting up some smaller walls with. They also have their own Comanche horse archers too, so we're going to see a bit of Comanche horse arching going on here. What's Purple doing? Purple is mostly focusing on sort of their base area. They did grab a TP up front though, so yeah, they're starting to expand a little bit. In general though, let's see where this cavalry army goes. This could make a big difference. I could definitely see them annoying the yellow on this side because they're trying to branch out here. They could definitely cut them off a bit on this side. Let's see what they do though. They seem to be parked out right in front of their foundations at the time. Oh, those are just treasure guardians, so it looks like a nice free settler there for the Red Dutch or the Purple, whichever one wants to grab it. So, what are these riders going to do in these horse archers? When are they going to make themselves revealed to us all? Or to their enemies anyways. I totally see them. But the enemies, they don't see them. Culverins scanned the first shot here. Wow, that was brutal. Only 2 of these culverins up. Only 1 culverin. That was a really good volley. They still have 3 culverins though, so... yeah, I mean, it looks like right now the Yellow Dutch is doing really well right now. Now we see some Stadwatch Halberdiers as well as the Dutch skirmishers coming in. Horse artillery, Red Dutch is bringing their own skirms in. Oh, so Red Dutch went for a factory snipe with their light cavalry. Not bad. They're actually going to get this one down, it looks like, too. Yeah. Yep, it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. Whoop! Dead. Ugh. That was very tactful on Red Dutch's part, Very, very smart tactic. That was really well played. Because if you can take down the factory of your Dutch opponent, that takes down their ability to gain more food. It also lessens their coin income beyond what you got. So yeah, very smart play. We see sort of the, the Red Lancers from the Royal Decree. These are basically just Stradiates, you know, with their appearance change, also an add multiplier against only non-heavy infantry too. So almost like Sawars. Okay, so now we see red and purple taking the center map here, trying to push their way in, making a siege attempt at these barracks. But blue and yellow Dutch are going to say no, we're going to focus on training large masses of skirmishers, making their native cavalry, the horse archers, some riders. Is there any artillery in this mix? Yep. Blue horse guns in the back. We still see culverins from purple though, so those are going to prevent the blue horse guns from pushing right in there. So they have to be careful with that. You definitely don't want to waste artillery since they cost a lot of coin, you know. You certainly get a lot of coin as Dutch with all those banks, but still you kind of want to be careful since if you let your resources get drained too much, you obviously die pretty easily in death matches we've seen from some previous games, both today and before with the Wakoa ones. Yeah, I mean, at this point... Oh wow, look at the blue hussars going for the initiative. They're going to land right on top of those coves. Brutal. That was a good play right there from blue. You know, and then the riders can finish them off from range. Yeah, that was a really good attack by blue. And now they're going to have a bit easier time defending at this point as well. But purple is starting to build their forward base on this side of the trade route. We see some foundries. We see some stables. How are they doing, by the way? Klein Grenadier. Purple is kind of going a little bit broke right now in the bank. You know, they might have to take out a loan or something. Or rather just get more merchants since there's no loans for this civ. Yeah, definitely. Well, at this point it looks like right now the skirmishers are caught a bit exposed here for purple and red. Blue hussars pressuring them back. The large skirmisher force on the other side chasing them in close pursuit, as well as some horse artillery, making sure that the gains are more good, I would say. Yeah, definitely, these horse artillery could play a big role. Only if they survive these red riders, though. The riders are definitely a serious threat. Ah, wait a second. So now we see the envoy has built a native embassy using their card that lets him do that. Right, which one is, wrong one. Let me see. Don Stowe. Yeah, I want to check him out. Can they, I'm trying to remember if the envoys can build native embassies right away or not. It doesn't look like you can use any sort of special card for that, so that's a change I wasn't aware of. That's actually kind of brutal because these natives could actually make a big dip right there. But anyways, getting back to the big fight at hand here, we see yellow actually moving on to this side with their riders. They're going to try to wedge away at these stables over here, you know, since they're really not protected right now. Get rid of some of the forward pressure at least. But then the purple drive their halberdiers right into them, which is going to slaughter them if they don't get out of there. You know, which isn't going to be easy since, you know, they snare you a little bit. So, yeah. You gotta be careful when you're going up against barracks when they have access to things like the halbs, because the halbs, well, now not traditionally thought of it, they can counter light cavalry once they get into melee with them, since their multiplier is an all cavalry multiplier, not just a hand one. At this point, we see the reiters and horse artillery trying to make a gain on this angle right here, trying to move up in this line directly. Now we see red hussars moving in this way, trying to make a gain on these mortars, because they know the mortars are the biggest threat to a forward base, since they can sit way in the back and shell their way into your buildings. Also, purple's going to try to get a shot at them using these culverins, another good solution. Let's see if these culverins can wheel their way in over here at the mortars. Also, red horse artillery here trying to guard this side. Yeah, I get the skirmishers in there. You need a bit of skirmisher padding to protect you from dragoon-style units like the riders and definitely the native horse archers. Yeah, I mean, at this point, let's see what's going to happen here. Yeah, the Blues going in with those Hussars again. You know, they've been pretty adamant about using handcap this game for pushing back artillery pushes. Let's see. Oh, these horse artillery, too. What are they going to get any big gains in this? Certainly they're killing some of the skirms, but could they get in the back and start hitting these cans as well? That'll be seen for sure. Also, Blue does have some mortars as well in the back here, which for now we're going to do some damage against the units, and then later they can start to shell at the buildings. Oh, Blue culverins too. Oh, they're going to mess up these heavy cannons here. Red just shipped their heavy cannon card in, because they're probably trying to force them back really hard right now. John Stowe, this Red Dutch, they're practically starving right now, as you can see right here in food. Their coin doesn't look too good either. Their wood, okay for now, so they can definitely rebuild, but they're not going to be getting much units out of it if they can't find out a way of repairing this economy loss. How are they doing in the vills? So they got about like 13 more vills to go after these ones queued up or done. So they're not at the end of their eco line just yet. They also have all these cards too that they could send, like the Reef Ridge, the Royal Mint, Textile Mill. So hopefully we'll see them start to get some of those cards as well to buff up the eco a bit. Seems like right now they've gone most with military and banks. Banks are certainly good, but military, you have to back that up with economy. Especially when this happens, you know, you see yellow and blue going for a big push. They don't care that they're getting blasted on by these outposts, which are ripping them apart here. Just a little bit anyways, but still. Those are free kills for the Dutch here, because they don't have to train units to get those casualties. Their villains are doing it for them. Red Dutch are going to try to stall them out a bit by putting some walls down around the stable. Boy, is that annoying. You got the stable right here, so they had to add in a second wall over here. There's Falconet. Nah, these are horse artillery. Those aren't Falcons. What's this? Riders taking down the purple stables up here, the red ones. So yeah, now we're seeing a big map gain from yellow and blue. A big change in the demographics of the map. Now we're going to start to see yellow and blue moving on the opposite side of the trade route now to do their own sort of offensive pushes. But unlike the opponents, it doesn't seem like they have a big... well, they didn't seem like they had a big force initially, but now we're starting to see the horse artillery and riders pile up a bit. This is... oh, they're going to try to make a sneak into this area because it's not covered right now. It's going to force the horse artillery to move up a bit. If they had some culves here, they'd be able to snipe these pretty easily from this angle coming down. So maybe that's something they should consider. Maybe. What's going on here? So we got some riders. They're probably going to try to make a move on this purple trading post here, since it's completely unprotected right now. They're also going to put down a fort. That fort's going to control that area pretty much and allow reinforcements to get in there from the fort if they need them. Red and purple kind of desperate at this point because, I mean, look at the resources here. Red is kind of on his deathbed in terms of economy. Purple is doing a bit better. I mean, they got almost 3k food. The coin is closer to 5k, so purple of the two is probably doing the best, but let's see how the other team is doing. Now, yellow is actually struggling a bit too. I mean, they just sent a big batch of hussars. Look at how much food that eats up, 120 food apiece. It's pretty pricey. But look at it though, it's at least putting a... you know, with these riders right here, it's really not that great of a play because the riders just shoot them before they can even take down any of the cannons. You know, and then of course you got the wall over here, so it's not like you can ride right in and start. Now, you know what they could do? They could actually siege this bank down, which would be kind of painful. You know, it costs about 350 food and wood to build a bank, so if they could take one of those down at some point, that would be a pretty intelligent play, I would say. Let's see if they can do that. Let's see if they're gonna play chicken or not. Play chicken. Go little chicken. Yeah. Oh no, now we see the riders coming in, so forget that. Forget that. That's not happening. That's not happening today, folks. Not at all. What they're gonna do instead, though, is they're gonna try to take a stand over here by this trade route over here. And maybe this explorer can get the trading post down on this side. That would bring them in a bit more resources or XP, which they need. How about the other player on the team, Last Thief? So Last Thief, for all the hussars he's been doing, is actually doing quite good economically, you know. He only needs to send, like, the coin-related cards, which for Dutch is an essential, since obviously your banks do most of the heavy lifting in coin. What we got right here, we see some Akan natives, the Akan Ankobias. Now these guys are pretty nasty to deal with, you know. They're a brutal unit to deal with. It actually lets you train them too? Wow. I've never used that card with the Dutch before. That's actually kind of unreal, because I know these natives are so brutal since they deal a bit of splash damage as well as acting like muskets with their anti-cav in melee. So yeah, that's actually kind of brutal for a civ like Dutch to have, you know. It's just one more deadly unit they can add to their arsenal. Now we see the yellow backing up a little bit. Maybe trying to fish them in for the culverins to take a snag at their horse artillery. Oh, these Akans. These Akans are going to be a secondary force moving in on the purple base. Since, do these cause pop at all? Oh, they cause population for this. Okay. Alright. So yeah, so they do cost 1 pop, similar to when the house can train them with their card. But either way, I mean, it is a strong unit that can hold its own for the most part. And combined with some culves and mortars and some skirmishers, that's probably enough to start pushing on this side. Let's see if they can pull it off, though. You know, it seems like right now these skirms are trying to wall a bit here, keep the halbs at bay, since the halbs are kind of a wild card. Yeah, they are, because halbs can kill lots of things that aren't cav. They can kill cannons, they can kill skirmishers if you're not careful. So formation is key. Make sure you keep them in good formation, you disorient them. Don't let them get a clean break or they will make you suffer. Oh no, look at this right here. Culverins completely exposed. Hussars just rolled in and just wiped them out. Well, these ones barely survived because the halbs arrived in time, but these ones were completely wrecked. Wow. That was not good. And you still got these Akans sieging away at the buildings. Also, what's up with this? What are you doing with these Moors, man? Do something with them. Plop them down and shoot at something. Attack this. Attack that. Stop wasting units. You can't be affording to do that, man. You gotta manage your stuff properly. How is enemy team doing? So, both of them are basically facing really bad hunger right now in terms of food. Their food count is like really down right now. I mean, their coin counts are okay. They're great because, you know, Dutch never runs out of money. You know what I mean? They're like little piggy banks because they have actual banks without the pig part. But, yeah, they always have coin. It's one thing you don't have to worry about is Dutch. The one thing you do have to worry about, though, is this offensive from blue if you're the purple and red team. Because this mortar, combined with the units here, could actually make a serious push into this wall. And then, once that wall is done, they can make an offensive right here where you got Vils actually looking to put a mill in that spot, which would really not be good. And now, blue is actually deciding to send their heavy cannon ship in right now. These heavy cannons are going to blast their way into this wall, and then we're going to start to see some carnage if purple cannot keep them out. This side is still fair game at this point. We see yellow making a bit of shelling effort to get into this wall, but then they got this wall to deal with, so it's not as urgent. This is probably the most urgent part of the map you got to deal with at this point. Yeah. It's kind of cool that I have a mouse wheel now that I can actually zoom in and out of stuff too. I just noticed that, yeah. I finally know what zooming in and out is like. But anyways, let's see what's oh no, yeah. Wait a second. You actually let the Econ natives kill a horse artillery for free? Wow. That is bad muted movement on part of the AI. You know, the unit AI sometimes does the most cringeworthy things known to man, and they just did it with that cannon. They got some helps moving in near the wall, though, trying to poke their way through the riders. You know, since once the helps get attached to them in the melee, they basically kill riders really easily because of their lower HP and stats. Is this going to be enough, though? What is Kleiner Grandier? So he's actually purple, so he can't even afford enough riders to defend this flank, it looks like. The only thing they can really afford right now is to keep queuing up horse artillery in the hopes they'll blast away at both the infantry and the cannons here. But, as you know, if blue, which we see here, the blue person has enough, they have enough food to keep making hussars and riders, that is not going to be a problem for them. They're just going to be able to keep pressuring these cannons with the hussars and the riders. This is looking like the weak spot of the team right here. A starving purple not being able to keep up with this blue siege into the base. While it looks like red over here, Don Stowe, is doing a little bit better in food. You know, and they actually are fighting pretty well here and not losing too much. Oh, they actually sent the blue guards in too. These nifty Dutch musketeers. Okay, I got my guy. Yeah, so that's sort of the sign that he's getting in there. Well, I stacked loads of res too. Yeah, how much has he got? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did great in coin. Look at all that coin and food. So yeah, the blue and yellow team did really well with the eco. Waiting on Huss spawn. Yeah, once those hussars get in, that's going to be a pretty detrimental push for the red player here because they really don't have a lot of food for rider spamming. So if you can get a large mass of hussars in here, they can slice through the skirms and then the cannons, and then they lose their whole entire defensive. And blue is already coming in without resistance at all. Without resistance at all. Because you look at purple here, they don't even have food to defend against this. You don't see anything queued up here. No riders, no halbs, not even pikemen. Oh, we see some riders over here, but that's way in the back over here. This front line of military buildings is gonna get sieged down. At the same time, you see purple going for a wacky attack. What's this? They're going for a sneaky ninja attack with the riders up here, halbs and little bombards. Little bombards shipped in from the home city. Wow, look at that. A last-ditch of effort from purple to get back here. But that's not going to be enough, though, because the blue Dutch... blue guards, blue and blue, are going to defend the factories. Yeah, I mean, at this point, this sort of sneaky attack was a good idea to relieve some pressure, but I would say at this point it's a little bit too late, you know? You don't really have the resources to keep up with it. Little bombards might do a... Little bombards could take out this mill, I would assume, but I don't know what else at this point. Oh, now we see the Caribs coming in from the purple at this point. That's really going to be the end of their coin surplus, because that costs a lot of coin to send those natives in. Yeah, I mean, at this point, this is not looking good for Team Purple and Red at all. They're starting to get clawed in here quite a bit. Yeah, finally Yellow's getting into that first layer of wall. They obviously have to deal with being surrounded a bit and being hit by the cannon fire of the outpost, but other than that, they're slowly starting to crawl their way in. Oh no, now we see the blue hussars. Are they gonna be able to get in the back here and start picking away at the little bombards? Little bombard seems to be the heart of this attack right here. If those go down, I think purple is basically out of options. And they might be, because the skirmishers are going to start picking off at this rider wall, and the hussars are going to slowly start to press their way into the bombards. So they put the blowgunners up here to support their artillery and protect them from potential light calves. So that makes a lot of sense, actually. Well, actually, no. These blowgunners have the multiplier against inf, not the ones against light calves. So yeah, pretty good unit, you know. GG. So yeah, I mean, this team realizes they can't come back from this. They're out of resources, especially food. And you still got a player here, the yellow one, who clearly has a lot of resources left. So dead due to pure starvation, you know. Pure starvation. Let's look at the post game, shall we? See how well they did. In general, it looks like Team Blue and Yellow. I'm actually surprised the resources are this close, almost. Like, it seems like Blue and Yellow were more in the middle. Red was a little bit less and Purple was a little bit more. But you can see right here that Blue and Yellow team really excelled in food economy, and that made all the difference for them because they were able to keep close to that 200 pop mark throughout the match. Red and Purple, though, not so much. Not so much. Not so much. How about on the other ones, though? Military. So, yeah, you can see right here, Blue did a really good job at killing lots of things once they got into that purple base. Beyond those walls, they really started to get a big kill count. And they were able to maintain bigger numbers just because they kept their food economy up. Similar to Yellow. Yeah, Red with the least food economy, tied with like Purple. Not that much units. Gotta keep up your economy, folks. Gotta do it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this one. This was definitely a fun one for me to do. If you have any death matches for me to do also, feel free to send them my way. Otherwise, signing off now from this day's death matches. See you for the next ones or any other D castings that I do. Adios.